Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Tommy Gilmore with Noisy Bird Digital Marketing, and you're watching another episode of Spotlight Southern Utah. If this is your first time watching, every week we talk to a different business owner, hear their story, and hear how they're making an impact here in Southern Utah. I'm really excited because today I'm going to be talking with Bruce from Southwest Cooling and Heating. Bruce, thanks for letting me come by and chat with you today.
Yeah, no problem. It's great to be with you.
So Bruce, you've got a well-established business here. You know, your shirt says running on trust since 1980, and obviously you haven't been running the business since 1980. So tell people a little bit about the story of the business, how you've gotten involved, and sort of your journey through entrepreneurship.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, the company started in 1980 and have been through a couple different owners. It has been more family-owned since 1980. Back in 2001, when I graduated high school, my parents moved to St. George, and he had just gone through his schooling in HVAC, and so he moved down to St. George, and I went off to college, and he came down and worked for, I think, another company, not Southwest right away, but shortly after came over to Southwest, and so that was his start with Southwest.
Yeah.
Going through the, I guess, 2008, 2009, economy issues with the economy. They had some issues there, and so there was a lot of things going on, but he was able to take over the company at that time.
Okay.
And so that's when he got started in 2008, 2009 with Southwest, and he's been running it since then. I guess since just over a year ago, about a year ago is when I came on board and decided to purchase the company. A little bit about my background. I've got 7 years in 2 different startups, and went to BYU in entrepreneurship undergrad, and then after some of those startups, and even during some of those startups, I went to do my MBA at Wake Forest University in the Carolinas. So I was living in the Carolinas for a while, and so I went to do my MBA at Wake Forest. And then I went to work at the corporate office at Bank of America. And I was an agile coach, so I coached software development teams how to improve processes. So through all of the entrepreneurship and through my MBA, I actually learned a lot about how to run business. That's why I went to Bank of America, because I did the small startup thing, and then I went to the large corporate office so I could get that experience. Purposely tried to find the largest company I could work for to get that experience. So. It was a good experience, and as an agile coach, we coached other software development teams. So I've coached hundreds of teams how to improve their processes. Yeah. And that's what really has been very good when coming into this company, because now into Southwest, because I could bring that knowledge of how to improve processes and how to work with people and train them up to really just improve the process so that the company can be profitable, and so that we create a win-win-win for the company, for the employees, and for the customers. Yeah. Super important.
That's awesome. And I'm sure having that skill to come in, analyze, identify, okay, here's the top priority issues and probably medium, low priority issues. And all right, we're just going to go through and check off the list. Yes. I'm sure is kind of the process that you've gone through in coming in and, buying the business from your parents.
Yeah. It's been really good It's been a fun experience. Definitely not easy by any means. Any business owner is going to know that running a business is difficult. You have families that depend on you. Yeah. Depend on making a living for their family too. So there's a lot of pressure for business owners. I'm sure they can all relate.
Yep. Yeah. If you're watching and you own a business, heavy is the head, right? Like we know what it takes. It's stressful. It's sleepless nights. It's wake up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. and you have this flash of genius, and then you're like, all right, now I can't go back to sleep. I have to go do this thing, right?
Get this done, for sure.
Well, so, like you said, it's not easy. You kind of go through these challenges, and I'm sure some growing pains in, with a startup. It's all right, funds are really tight. How do we get the most out of funds? What are some challenges that you've had to overcome in coming into an established business, and sort of that process of taking it over and trying to enhance some of the systems, make it more efficient, things like that?
Yeah, growth is really important in business. So you always want to look for ways that you can grow the business And even if that's just for growing the business so that you can create a better environment for your employees. You know, when I came in, we had a lot of older trucks.
Okay.
With a lot of miles on them. So that was one of the first things that I saw that we needed to do is we need to get some newer vans and newer vehicles for our employees, because, you know, you want the employees to have a sense of pride for the company that they're working for, and they want to feel good about working for a company, you know. And so that was one of the main things that I did right off the bat is, okay, well, let's look at what are the highest priority things that we need to change. And for me, that was we need to improve our processes through the back end.
Okay.
And also improve the vehicles that they drive in. But before we do that, I knew we needed to wrap the vehicles.
Uh-huh.
I didn't just want to wrap all the old vehicles, right?
Yeah.
So that was kind of the process that we had to put in place. Is I just went straight to work on who is the best design and branding company that works with the service industry. Mm-hmm. And so we worked with KickCharge to redo our brand. So, you know, it's a huge difference in our brand. People that know our brand before, you know, just a kind of plain white, blue, red van. Mm-hmm. Doesn't stand out too much. And now, you know, we have an awesome logo. Oh, I got to tell you a story about this logo.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Okay?
Yeah, because you have a roadrunner now, right?
We have a roadrunner, and we're like, okay, I'm trying to decide. You know, we'd really like some type of mascot, you know, something that people remember on the side of the vehicles. And so we were thinking, well, what are some of the animals we could put, you know, like a person on the van or something, but what are some of the animals here locally in St. George? And so we're like lizard, turtle, Roadrunner was high on the list of mascots that we wanted to use. We're basically that day that we were trying to decide, like, hey, we got to make a decision because we got to move forward. Keep going. One of the biggest roadrunners that I have seen ran right into the shop. So my dad's out in the shop. He's like, you guys got to come out here and check this out. It actually, on our wall right there, you can see the picture of the roadrunner. You can
see a picture.
So a big roadrunner came running into the shop and was like bouncing on the shelves. Mm-hmm. And we're like, okay, there's your sign. Yep. We got to use roadrunners. So we just went with the roadrunner, and we got several different options from our design company. And yeah, this is the one. It was kind of like we went through different colors and everything. Even the name changed a little bit so that we could get a shorter domain name as well. But that's kind of how we ended up with the roadrunner. But I think the main thing that was important is the running on trust. Yeah. You know, that was the main thing that we wanted to get through, because that has been our main thing that is so important to us, is just doing good work for our customers the best that we possibly can. Yeah. Do we make mistakes? Yes. Do we try to do our best to remediate those mistakes? Absolutely. Yeah. You know, we definitely want to do the best we can for our customers, because we know we want to be around for a long time. We want to do the best we can to service our customers. Yeah, and I think ultimately anybody that's in a service business, especially one like yours where you're going into somebody's home, you know, and you're usually interacting with a woman at the house. I would say 9 times out of 10, probably 8 times out of 10, whatever. I'm sure that's what most calls look like, right? Yeah. And so there has to be that trust there that, hey, we're going to send somebody that's not going to take advantage of you, that's going to be honest, that's not going to, you know, be weird or creepy, and is going to respect your home and your space and provide a good service for you. Yeah, it's a constant balance of where is that win-win-win. We got to, you know, we have to make enough money to provide for our families and be profitable so that we're around long term, so that we can provide those warranties that we promise the customers to when we do a new install or fix something. Yeah. We want to make sure we're around long term to just have that win-win-win all the way around. Yeah. So talk about that warranty. When you guys do a new install, what does that warranty look like? Mm-hmm. Usually we have like a 2-year Swace labor warranty. The equipment is usually like a 10-year warranty. So if anything happens within, like a compressor goes out or something within that 10 years of having that new equipment, then we'll go out and replace it. And then just our labor warranty, we want to make sure that we at least cover that the first few years.
Okay.
We've been talking about increasing that as well. So yeah, it's important to just make sure we take care of the stuff that we install and do it right.
Yeah. And then like you said, make sure that the business thrives enough that it doesn't do you any good to say, oh, we'll come back in 2 years or 10 years for these, certain criteria, and then your business goes under in a year because you can't, fulfill those promises that you're making.
Yeah, and I think we've done a pretty good job of doing that. That's why we've been around since 1980. So everybody that has been a very important thing for us. Yeah,
that's great. Well, I know that you're not new to business. You're new to being the business owner. Mm-hmm. What would you say has been the best piece of advice you've gotten about, maybe business in general or even coming in and owning a business?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's so many things. I was looking on my Audible. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I was like,
we'll have to compare Audibles. That'd be
fun. How many books have I read? And I think I have 227.
Wow.
So
you win.
I like listening to books. I like learning. But I think one of the best pieces of advice is trying to find that win-win-win for everybody. Because that is so important. Another, maybe just a few other things that I think are important.
A couple runners up.
If business owners are watching this, I think it's really important to focus on like the one thing. When I did my MBA, that was one of the books, the one thing that we read. There's Good to Great and other books that are even the E-Myth. Mm-hmm. E-Myth is really good. Yeah. There's actually one specifically for HVAC now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So Ken Goodrich, But focusing on that one thing, like what is that one thing that is going to help us to serve our customers better or be more profitable? Because we can take our processes and make them more efficient. Yeah. And still have the same prices, but then now we can be, our margins will be better. So, figure out maybe the top 5 things and then order those things to the one thing and focus on that one thing. Sometimes it's difficult because you have, day-to-day stuff. Something comes up and it kind of gets you distracted. But if you can focus on that one thing, nail it down, and move on to the next. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did as an agile coach. Yeah. We call it a backlog of stuff that we needed to do, prioritize it, and focus on that first one. Focus on finishing versus starting. I guess that would be another thing.
I love it.
Focus on finishing versus starting.
I think, they call it shiny object syndrome, right, in the world of entrepreneurship. So often we start that thing, and then we're like, oh, this is hard, or it's not working how I thought it would. And so we call it a pivot, but really it is like we're a dog kind of just chasing a new car.
Stick with it, yeah. Stick with it until you kind of like give it some time. Mm-hmm. Stick with it, and usually it makes a difference. So that's what we did with our brand, and then our back end of our system. We brought on Service Titan, and it was difficult to transition thousands of customers in our database to this new database, and then make sure we get all of the equipment and the materials and everything transferred over. Yeah,
and then training employees on, hey, this is this new technology that now we expect you to implement. I'm sure
they were doing paper timesheets, kind of writing them down.
Okay,
before.
A little old school then.
Yeah, and so now we have all our guys all have iPads, and they're clocking in, and so it's definitely more efficient, and we can service customers a lot better, especially with our estimates, because we have everything now built out in the back end. So we can say, okay, here's a new system that you need, here's a kind of a good, better, best option, and which one would you like to do?
Yeah, that's awesome. I think I could talk systems all day, because that's something that, I've only been in business for about 3.5, almost 4 years, but I've seen the power of systems, because I'm not a naturally organized person. Mm-hmm. So being in business, I've had to push myself to become organized, because if I'm not, I'm the only guy that can do everything. And I don't want that. I don't want to be self-employed. I want to be building a business.
Yeah, right.
And that means I got to bring somebody on. I got to train them. And I also have to be willing to say, hey, this is how I do it. These are my systems. if you can come in and improve my system, please do.
Absolutely.
Try it my way for 2 or 3 months, get it honed in, and then make it your own, right? And obviously there's a line there and things like that, but I think those systems are so important for any business, because then it creates consistency, it creates trust for people, things like that, instead of, oh, you did a good job this time and it wasn't so good last time. It kind of helps prevent those things, because everybody's trained the same way, everybody's consistent in how they're being treated and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of like the shuhari. It's kind of an agile thing too, where you learn the system.
Okay.
And then you really spend time in it and implement it.
Yeah.
And then down the road, you can then start, because you've mastered it, and then you can be a master of your own system and change it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're hiring some people right now, so we'll have more conversations off camera that I don't think people will be that interested in, but that sounds great. Yeah. Well, Bruce, this has been really fun. I know that we're getting out of the summertime, heading into the fall and winter time. What's something that people should know about keeping their systems long term and helping, as we change seasons, maybe what's something that homeowners, if they're watching, should know about keeping their system up to date and hopefully prolonging having to, replace it?
Yeah, I think I read a stat just recently that 15% of homeowners maintain their heating and air conditioning system like regularly. If we always relate it to a car.
Yeah.
If you want your car to last longer, you should do regular maintenance on it, especially oil changes. Same thing for especially out here where it's dusty, you get a lot of dust on your coils and things like that.
Yeah.
So we have hundreds and hundreds of customers that we've been servicing for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And their equipment is 20 plus years old.
Wow.
So, I mean, and the average life really is, they're even saying like 10, 12. You're lucky if you're getting 15, even 17.
Yeah.
But that's if they're regular maintain it. So that's what we always tell people is like, you will save a lot of money if you regularly maintain your equipment. And so we go out, we have, year-long memberships where we go out twice a year, once in the spring and summer, and then also fall, winter. Okay. To maintain the equipment for them, make sure the filters are changed and everything's clean, and especially, like I said, with the dust. Yeah. And so that would probably be the best thing that you can do for your home, is make sure that your equipment is properly maintained, and you'll save a lot of money, in the process. Yeah.
What does that maintenance plan look like for you guys price-wise?
Yeah, we right now we do a year-long 2 visits, $189 for 2 visits, and so we'll come out, check your system out, make sure it's all cleaned up, ready to go, change the filters. It takes us about 45 minutes, hour to do that for the system. And it's like going to get your oil changed and maintain your system regularly. There's lots of other stuff that we do too. We hook up hook up gauges and test capacitors,
multi-point check kind of stuff.
So we check all of those different things that regular points of failure. And if we can get ahead of that, especially like a contactor or a capacitor that often goes out, if we can measure that and replace it before it goes bad, then you won't go without cooling. And I mean, it's hot here in St. George. So.
I was gonna say that's what you don't want. You don't want it to be 95 degrees. You kick it on for the first time, and you're like, it's blowing air. It's not blowing cold air.
And you think about it, your system is going to go out when it's struggling the hardest. On the hottest day, of the year, that's when it goes out, and that's when we get all the calls. Yeah. If we regularly maintain it, and if we can get ahead of those type of things, then we can prevent those things from happening. Yeah.
So if you guys are watching, if you're homeowners, prevent your headaches long term. $189. That's a great price. That's less than $100 a visit.
Yeah.
I mean that.
Yeah, that's 2 visits. I mean that's, we're kind of break even on that. We're just helping customers out.
That's awesome. Yeah. So guys, check them out. Give them a call. And what's the you said there's a new domain, right? What's the new domain so people can come and learn more and hopefully schedule a visit with you guys?
Yeah, swcoolingheating.com or southwestcoolingheating.com is a great place to start. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Bruce, this has been really fun. Thanks so much for having me. Guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Spotlight Southern Utah. We'll see you again next week, or we'll be here with another business owner.
Appreciate it. Thank you.